What's going on, guys? Firewolf Tech here, showing you guys the LG 27-inch UltraGear OLED gaming monitor. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys all around this beautiful 240Hz monitor, so let's get it. First thing you're going to notice is how thin the OLED display is and the super cool Hexagon lighting in the back. LG claims this is the world's first 240Hz OLED monitor that features smooth gameplay to stay ahead of the competition. The specific model name is 27GR95QE-B. This UltraGear features a 27-inch QHD OLED display with the resolution of 2560 by 1440 and the very fast response time of 0.03 milliseconds. It's also Nvidia G-Sync compatible and features AMD FreeSync Premium. So let's first dive into the unboxing experience of this LG 27-inch UltraGear. I appreciate how well LG packed this 27-inch OLED monitor. The monitor itself is actually very light, so I do like that a lot. And I actually love how razor thin that display is with that hexagon in the back. I think it looks really cool. And the materials on the display does not feel cheap at all. Since this monitor is on the expensive side, you do get really good materials on the monitor, so I'm very happy to report that it feels really nice. And here we have the actual base itself. It feels really nice and sturdy. We can see LG on the corner as well as UltraGear on the other corner as well. And it does feature a wingtip screw, which means that you don't need any tools to install it on the base itself. So I like that a lot. And here's the actual monitor arm itself. It does feel really nice and heavy, and it feels really premium as well. Alright, so taking a look at the accessories that LG provides us, the first thing we're going to notice is the power adapter. Now this is going to be very large, but the good thing is that it's not integrated in the monitor itself, which means the monitor stays relatively light. This is going to be the US plug here. And then they're also going to provide us a really nice HDMI cable. We're going to get a really nice USB upstream cable. We're going to get a DisplayPort cable and an attachment to better manage the cables on the back of the monitor arm. And then one of my favorite features of this is going to be the remotes. Now I love the fact that it brings a remote because it makes switching inputs a lot easier. Now it does come with a CR2025 battery, which I'm not a fan of. I wish they made the remote rechargeable via USB-C or something like that. But once you install the battery, you know, basically just going to have to screw it in with the provided tools that they give you, and you're pretty much all ready to go. Now let's look into the inputs we get. We get two HDMI 2.1 ports, which is great for next-gen consoles. We get one DisplayPort, one USB upstream, and two USB 3.0 downstream ports. Sadly, there are no built-in speakers, but they do give us a digital optical output and a headphone port. Alright, so let's go ahead and test out the hexagon lighting feature here. I think the hexagon pattern is very unique, and I love how the two LED strips light up. They do have multiple color options, and I think it looks absolutely fire. Alright, so installing the base is actually very easy and simple. Since you don't need any tools at all, you can just screw it with your hands. And once you have it securely tight, you're able to just install it on the monitor itself by putting it in an angle. You can hear a nice little click, and you can just pick it up with your hands. Now, taking a look at the back of the monitor here, I think it looks absolutely beautiful. What do you guys think of this gunmetal gray color that this UltraGear features? I think it looks really nice. And again, the hexagon lighting on this is definitely one of my favorite features of this monitor. And you can see how razor thin that display is. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. This OLED panel is really nice. Taking a look at the front of the monitor here, the monitor stands have a lot of adjustability with height. It has tilts, it has swivel, and then you can even pivot it all the way counterclockwise, giving you so many options on how you want to put this display on your desk. I think it's really great. It's very premium feeling, and you can see the swivel angles here. And all guys, this monitor stand is great. But I still prefer mounting my monitors on a desk arm for more space and a cleaner look. To mount it on a desk arm, you need to first unscrew 4 screws from the LG monitor, and then using a decent mount adapter, you can line it up and use the same screws or use thumb screws, which I prefer for easier access later. And now we're ready to mount. The desk arm that I use is the AVLT 13-inch to 43-inch monitor arm that can support weight up to 33 pounds. It also gives you 2 extra USB ports, which is convenient. Now that we have it set up, let's go ahead and power this on using the remote. The remote makes it convenient to power on, switch inputs, and navigate through the settings. I currently have 3 devices connected: my Mac Studio, gaming PC, and PS5. I first connected my M1 Max Studio via DisplayPort and it automatically detected the highest refresh rate of 244 Hz with a max resolution of 2560 by 1440. While it does support HDR, I personally don't like how it looks on Mac, so I leave it on standard. My first impression of the display is how stunning it looks. OLED really makes the display worth it. Since this display measures 26.5 inch diagonally, that leaves the pixel per inch density to about 111, which looks great. While I would have liked seeing a higher pixel per inch count, it's honestly not that bad and much better than the larger LG 45 inch OLED monitor that I reviewed earlier. I prefer ultra wide monitors, but I have to say the quality of this 27 inch OLED monitor makes using this a great experience. I find using two windows side by side is perfect with everything being easily readable and detailed. Since this is a gaming monitor first, I'm going to switch the input to HDMI, which is connected to my gaming PC, and using this remote makes it so much easier. Now my 3080 Ti does support HDMI 2.1, which will detect the highest refresh rate of 244 Hz with a resolution of 2560 by 1440 as well. And I'm going to enable HDR here, which will give us and enable the 10-bit format. And we're going to use that to test out the gaming performance of this LG 27 inch OLED. I'm running Modern Warfare at the highest setting with the 16:9 aspect ratio, and it looks absolutely fire. The response time is ultra fast, so fast that these two didn't even see me coming. OLED technology enhances the environment and you feel a great sense of immersion. On the top left, I enabled the FPS counter so you can see it's reading 240. For gaming, this monitor performs very well. Every action looks buttery smooth, and I can only imagine getting higher FPS with a 40 series graphics card.
Securing objective. Charlie secure.
One requesting recon at this time.
Copy that. UAV off. We're losing Alpha.
Alright, after getting sniped like that, I just had to quit the match, and I'm going to go ahead and start showing you guys the PS5 input here. Now I have this connected via HDMI 2.1, and the great thing about this monitor is that you do get two HDMI slots, so that allows you to connect multiple devices. And as with any display, it automatically have you adjust the HDR settings. And taking a look at the video output information here, it automatically scaled to 4K, but since this doesn't support 4K, we're going to test out the 1440p output right now. And when you use this option, it automatically cycles through each of these inputs, and after testing each one, the PS5 fully supports this monitor, which is 2560 by 1440. And you do have to set it up like that, and once you set it up, you will get the 2560 by 1440. And jumping into God of War Ragnarok here, you can see the variable refresh rate on the top left with the FPS counter. You can see the numbers going up and down. So the PS5 basically fully supports variable refresh rates. So this is a great thing and making this monitor very compatible with so many devices. Now going back to my Mac Studio, for me, the most important part of a monitor is how well it boosts my productivity. One of the apps I use the most is Final Cut Pro, and creating content with this on an OLED display is a great experience and feels like it represents the content you see on your devices such as the latest iPhone or Galaxy. I personally don't think this monitor is the best all-around monitor for work and play. I think if the resolution was higher at 4K, it would make productivity better since the pixel per inch would also be higher. I would get this monitor as a dedicated gaming monitor because it performs very well. I also want to note that the brightness levels of this monitor is pretty low. This might not be a deal breaker if you're usually using it in a darker setting. A lot of people don't like the matte coating on this OLED display, but I personally don't find it much of an issue. If you're coming from a 1080p or 1440p monitor, then you will enjoy this monitor. If you're coming from a 4K monitor though, and the lower PPI might be a deal breaker. But all in all guys, the LG 27-inch OLED monitor is a stunning gaming monitor that I would recommend as a dedicated gaming monitor. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching guys.